up and good morning, guys? Welcome to Rhino Block and Brick. We are heavily stocked up here on some block over at Rhino Ranch. You guys have been following the past couple of videos. I'm working on the Rhino Ranch entrance project. You know, we got us some block delivered, and I told you guys that I had bought a little bit extra. And well, here's my little bit extra. So obviously this is more than we need for the entrance project. But again, a huge thank you to our friends over at RCP Block and Brick. They gave me the opportunity to purchase a bunch of block that, again, are either specials, were a special color, were a custom order, or for whatever reason, they had these lying around in the yard. I figured, you know what? I'm gonna bulk purchase right now. We're gonna use those block for sure somewhere on the ranch. We got a pump house we gotta do. Well, we got 2 pump houses that we have to do. I'm sure there's gonna be retaining walls going on around here, so we're gonna end up using those block for sure. And in other good news, I was able to find the commercial door frame that I need for the guard shack. This bad boy right here. Welded commercial door frame. I know we could have used like wood bucking to frame out inside the block and actually use like traditional wood framing style doors and stuff, but I'm committed to doing things commercial quality. And well, that involves a commercial quality door. That we haven't sourced the door yet. We got the frame, we're still working on the door. Now, Papa Ryno's down here at the gate, and I think he got a wild hair in him today and wants to start first coursing all the block work. I'm not sure if that's what he's doing, but let's get down here and find out. Oh, he's going for it. No tenders, no nothing?
Oh, no, that's gonna work faster than them son of a guns.
All right. Now, to kind of put into perspective for you guys, like the height difference we're working here, you can see the 3 courses of block here. They're actually a little bit lower than where the footing on that side sits with no block on it. So we're essentially, just give or take, we're about probably that high is where that footing is. So this column, albeit once we grade everything out, is gonna look the same height, but it's gonna be significantly taller underground. Now, I know a lot of the previous videos that we've done here, kind of when we're talking about a hole in the ground and trying to explain how things are gonna go and yada, 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 it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you don't do this for a living. Now things will start to kind of hopefully make sense to you guys, and I don't look like a rambling idiot out here in a field. You'll see why when we put our forms in for our footings, we do all of our layout, and layout's very important because you obviously need your rebar to hit ideally center of each cell of block. So right here we've got a 16-inch spacing, and then you always have to do your spacing in block work. So 16, 8 inches block work as well. So we go 16, 16. We obviously wanted bars in the corners, so we shrink it down to 8. And when we were coming up with our sizing for everything, we made sure everything worked out to be block work. And what I mean by that again is everything's in 16 or 8-inch dimensions. So these are 4 foot by 4 foot columns, which work out to be block work with no little cuts, because we didn't want to have to put cuts or anything like that. It's going to slow anybody down. No cuts, everything works out to whole or a half block. Same thing with the guard shack. The dimensions of the guard shack were meant to work out to where there were no cuts, other than where the doors and windows are going to be. But like the general shape of the building is going to be full block. And I've done some back and forth thinking, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting the door to the guard shack on the entrance side. That way, again, if we ever have any events, you can prop the door open and the guard can be here and, you know, do his little thing or whatever Chris wants to do, because, you know, Chris is going to be the guard. Then we'll have front window here. It's going to be a 3 foot by 3 foot window. And then on the side here, we're going to do a 3 foot tall by 4 foot wide window. And just like that, a perfect batch of mud. I have no idea what that was in elapsed time, but I don't know, 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes there to make a batch. Don't need to overcomplicate it. I see a lot of other states like to overcomplicate making mud, whether it be like in a trough with a bunch of hose, the kind for gardening. Throw it in a wheelbarrow, mix it up real quick. If we had more to do, we'd have a mixer on site. And that way the mud's constantly staying fresh as well in the mixer while everybody's working before you get to it. But we also typically wouldn't be working out of a wheelbarrow, but it's just Papa Ryno running around today, setting all the leads and everything for tomorrow. Just makes sense to run out of a wheelbarrow instead of setting up all the mud boards, which mud boards, those of you that don't know, are just these 2 foot by 2 foot. Sometimes plywood, if you can get like a sealed plywood, like a waterproof plywood, that's even better because the board doesn't soak up the water. But we'll strategically place these around where the mason's working That way there's always mud available to them while they're grabbing block and stuff, and they're not having to walk around like you'll see Papa Ryno do, having to kind of chase the wheelbarrow. Much more efficient to have the mud boards out, but again, for today, with just one guy rolling, we don't need to set all that stuff up. Now, if there was ever a hierarchy in any trade, masonry is one of them. You'll see there's basically general labor, what it sounds like. Then you got tenders, which tenders are like skilled labor. So tenders will be the guys making the mud. They'll be the ones stocking all the block. Like you can see Abel and Chava doing back there, and they're strategically stocking the block as well. It's not just like place block randomly everywhere. You got to place what you think is going to be used in a certain area. Like obviously all of these standard blocks here, they're going to be used on the edges. So those ones get put in the corners. You got to have your mud boards in the right spot. The tenders also make sure that there's always fresh mud. Always fresh mud going to the masons. The masons should never stop doing what they're doing. And it's the tender's job to make sure that doesn't happen. So you'll see more of that again tomorrow. Tender also, depending on the job, in our world, the tenders also come behind. They'll sponge the wall and they'll strike the wall. And I'll show you what I mean by that. When you hear us refer to striking the wall, we're talking about using a joiner on all the joints here. And hopefully the lighting's good. I know we're kind of in the shadow. You're basically gonna run your joiner along all the joints of the block, hit all your corners. Then, once you've jointed the block, you come back in with a sponge, and then you sponge your joints. Then if these were exposed joints, we'd come back in, we double strike it, hit it one more time with the joiner, and it leaves a nice, beautiful, smooth joint. Now, I need to run to the store and grab some lumber because I need to make my wood frames. That's gonna give us the rough opening dimensions for our windows. Now, you're not gonna see Ryan doing a whole lot of block laying. Papa Ryno is actually a mason. Ryno, not exactly a mason. Decorative stone, brick veneer, anything like that, I got you guys. Need me to lay block? I gave it a shot in my early years and it's not for me. All right, y'all, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Yesterday I got our lumber. It is currently 5-something in the morning because these guys are absolutely insane and insisted on starting this early. Let's go show you somebody that has not been on the channel in a long time, but is a big channel favorite. And if you guys are new to the channel within the last couple of years, you probably haven't even seen or met him yet. And hang on, guys, because this man is one of, if not the most interesting man in the world. What's up, buddy?
Look at this. Boy, you grown up, huh, boy?
Oh, jeez. What's up, dog?
Okay, we got the water.
All right.
We got that figured out.
You got a long day ahead of us, Aaron.
I know.
We got a lot of catching up to do, buddy. All right, Aaron, I know we're busy, but dog, you got to give the people what they want, buddy. No jokes. Aaron, I don't think you've been on the channel since the KOA project, right?
Yeah, 2000. Okay, first, hey, you guys don't remember me? Hey,
Aaron, it's COVID safe, dog.
no, it isn't. You guys have not taken a shot.
Oh, you saving me?
Have you gotten a shot?
No. I was just starting to do the YouTube thing. Remember how, like,
yes.
Yeah, go back to those awkward videos if you guys want to see some entertainment. Aaron, reintroduce yourself because we've had, I don't know, I think we got 150,000 subscribers since then that don't know who you are.
God. Hey, I'm Aaron.
No joke, Aaron, and this is no joke. I teased that we were going to have a Mason coming out here, and like OGs to the channel are super excited. Every comment was, can't wait for the TJ stories. Can't wait for TJ stories. But we got to give you an introduction, Aaron. How do you describe yourself? And good luck, because I don't even know if you can describe yourself.
Well, where do I start? Help me out. You start me off, dog.
All of a sudden, you're shy.
I know.
The first time in your freaking life.
Wow. So I got to get warmed up here.
All right.
I think the last time I worked with Ryan was, what year was that?
Had to be 2016 or something.
2016.
I think so.
Grew up in LA. Moved to San Diego, Pacific Beach. Stayed there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I went to TJ one time. I shouldn't have went. Got a kid.
That's Tijuana, Mexico. Hold on, you got the traditional. Went to Tijuana, Mexico. Got a kid.
Had a kid.
Not bought a kid. Had a kid. We should probably clarify.
Yeah. So I've been stuck there. I cross the border every morning. I go to work. TJ is no joke. I mean, I grew up in LA. That's but I gotta say, TJ is no joke. I've lived there so long, I still don't even know any Spanish. Mom's white, Dad's black in the 60s. I don't know why that happened. I don't know how that happened.
They were groundbreaking
Yeah.
at the time. You just don't see it living in Tijuana, Mexico.
I actually like living down there. I've lived down there for
It's been forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather live in TJ than LA. That's for sure. People from LA, you guys know.
Now, Aaron, give a little bit of your past here. I see some tattoos. Let's tell people about those tattoos.
Okay, let me put this one. Let me put this block first. Okay, let's start off with this one. They're homemade tattoos. They're not real. Let me look at. You guys, any of you skaters, look at that. What does that say? Dogtown. Okay. Any of you guys skaters will know what that is.
So that's
Fortunately, I grew up on the white side. Yeah, I was a skater most of my youth.
There you go. Aaron grew up as a skater in LA. I mean, I see another tattoo, Aaron. What do we got there? What's the tattoo on the arm?
Oh, that one?
Yeah, what do we got there?
Okay, now this.
Uh-oh.
So 1980.
Oh, we're getting quiet. It's getting serious, guys. We're getting quiet.
What does that say? Sorry about the hair.
You got a little bit of it there, buddy.
Yeah.
That looks like Hollywood boys.
That's right.
Oh, dang. We
Okay. No, that's actually where I grew up.
okay. Explains the long hair.
Yeah, I got that from my mom.
Okay, so if you guys have watched the channel forever, let's just run down how
I still have that scooter.
the Chinese one.
Yeah, it's Metallica.
Oh, Metallica.
It's Metallica.
So, I feel like somebody's gonna complain about this description. Half white, half black, Mason, lives in Tijuana, Mexico, drives a moped scooter
Across the border.
across the board.
Okay, but there's a purpose for it.
Okay.
The purpose is this: we don't have to wait. It takes at least 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours to cross over in a car. With a scooter, motorcycle, moped, we can cut up to the 4th car.
It is smart, but it's just hilarious. You know, he could be rolling on a nice crotch rocket or something.
No.
150cc Chinese Italgo
No, it's
moped. Metallica?
Metallica.
Metallica, sorry. Speaking of Metallica,
I know.
what are your musical choices, Aaron?
Journey.
Nah, it's been 5 years since I've seen you last. You still got your emo pictures? Because the story builds, guys. The story builds. Half white, half black. Mason lives in Tijuana, Mexico. Rides a 150cc scooter. Emo. Not like emo when he was 12. Like currently emo.
People in Indiana don't know what that is.
All right, go ahead and explain emo.
Let me put this closure in. This is called a closure. You have to double butter it since it's the last block. Okay, take your trowel. And then you have to do a closure. It's called a closure to make sure both, look. You guys try to do that.
You watch me try and do that? That ain't easy. Next time you guys go to Home Depot, just grab a block and just sit there and try and hold it up in the same ways that Aaron just manipulated that block, let alone trying to put mud on it. There's a reason I'm not a mason. No. This
No.
Hold up. What did you just ask me?
No one can get in it, right?
Maybe you want them to. Maybe there's some good looking. Aaron just said,
hey.
you think if I open my Tinder app that you guys are going to be able to see what his Tinder is? Aaron, how old are you? No, we need to know, Aaron. How old are you?
Okay, hey, you guys go ahead. Go ahead and scan
we got multiples?
Here, you guys go ahead and scan that down.
Hold on, Aaron.
Okay,
what the heck is going on
Okay,
there,
you
bro?
guys scan on, dog, okay?
Oh,
Hey, don't show the address, okay?
Aaron. Is that really Tinder?
Yeah, that is Tinder.
Why are we using pictures from 1972?
That is not, no.
Those ain't in the last 20, 30 years. Jeez, guy. Aaron, you catfishing.
Okay, bro.
Oh.
Don't, cut it out.
You get caught up, Aaron. Let me go back to describing you over here while I'm getting in the way and distracting you here. How old are you? What are you, in your 60s?
No, not even.
Your 50s?
Not even.
You know.
Come on, bro.
Oh, you don't want them to know how old you are.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Aaron's.
Yes.
Oh, you're.
Take yes.
I mean, I see like 3 gray chest hairs out of 18,000 that are apparently we need to show off today. Let's just say Aaron's up there in the years. He don't look like it though, and he don't stop working like it. But the age group of girl that's attracted to you, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It is I mean, Aaron pulls like what 21-year-olds.
My wife's 24. I got a 3-year-old with her.
All right, so now that Aaron is racing this wall up right here, we got to start putting in our conduit for our electrical, because if you guys remember, we're going to be running 2 gate motors, obviously per gate. Each gate has 2 wings on it, so we got to run the electrical over on this side. This side's just going to be a little whip that comes out, and basically what that is that's power and control from the center column there. That's going to have our control board. It's going to tell this gate motor to open when the other one opens. So I don't know exactly how we're going to do it yet, so we're just basically stubbing out the conduit over here. As you can see, Aaron's just notching the block's going to go in. Then on the front side is where we're going to really step things up. That's where we'll inset a box in the front, because I'm going to be running lights on the front of each one of these columns. Then we've got the laser out here because, like we talked about before, there's a 29-inch difference in grade from that column to this column. But I want to make sure the tops of the columns are all level all the way across, which means this column is going to be significantly taller, but then we're going to bring the dirt up, so you're not really going to see the height difference. But then we also got to make sure that the lighting is all at the same level as well. You don't want like lights being all offline, because my OCD will go insane if the lights are not all perfectly lined up. Oh, what up, guys? Bro, you do inspections out here too? Yeah. How's the knee? How's the knee? You look like you're walking a little rough. It hurts. We were just talking about how Aaron doesn't set his age yet, but Aaron's age over here. How come you look like way more beat up and you're like half his age? He works twice as hard as me. Hold on, what was that, Aaron?
He got me. Hey, no, what do you have in that engine?
It's a hybrid.
Oh, is it? That thing you can hear that thing. Hybrid? Is it kidding?
Have you been out here since we poured?
I don't think. No, I have, but I just.
Oh, you didn't inspect it though? All right, give us the inspection, buddy. What do you think?
Do I need to take off my shoes?
Well, no, clearly Aaron's already tracked mud across it. You're good, bro.
Felt bad that I was a little late. The boy got to sleep a little bit.
Well, I thought we need a special inspector on site full time. You should have been here 6 a.m. What do you got, dude?
I got some bagels, man.
Let's see. And some lemonade. Woo! Woo! Dang, bro. Aren't we supposed to be bribing the inspector? Now that the walls are coming up, we got a couple of places where we need to make some custom bent rebar, or more custom cut, I should say. So we're gonna grab the golf cart here. We're gonna grab the generator. We got the hydraulic rebar cutter right there. 1, 2, 3. Dang, dog.
I gotta fit in.
You trying to be Papa Ryno right now, or what?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a sick look. Hold on, that's I don't know if we're allowed to show that. Natural candy inhalation device. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice natural candy inhalation device. Now this column, we've got the gate controller. There we go, Aaron, does that work for you, buddy? Yep. We good? Mm-hmm. Chris, sign off on it?
That's good.
All right.
Good job.
So we got our pipe coming in. There's gonna be power coming up from underground. There's power to the controller. Then we gotta get controller power back and the signal to the other column. And then the little in-ground sensor. So when you drive up underneath the concrete, it's gonna trigger the gate to open on your way out. And that's what this one is right here. So 3 pipes coming in. The controller's gonna mount flush onto the column. I don't really know what kind of box or whatever is going to go in there, but we'll worry about that after. So everything's kind of an optical illusion out here. So Papa Ryno got 1 block ahead here before we got the conduit put in, but we'll get this side dialed in now. And hopefully we planned everything right. Once the columns are up and we're going to connect like the lights on the front stuff, there's plenty of room to have somebody lowered down in here on a ladder and actually hook everything up properly. But it should all loop together pretty well here to where we can do everything from outside. While the guys are working on getting the columns up, I'm gonna run over here and we're gonna start building our frames, which are gonna be the rough opening size of our windows. We're gonna use these 2x8s right here. It's about like $139,000 worth of 2x8. And we're gonna create rough opening size frames, and then we'll put them into the guardhouse, and they're gonna build the block around them, and it'll leave us a perfect opening to slide a window in once the windows show up. this half-dead 12-volt battery makes it through this whole thing, I'm gonna be very impressed. All right, what do you think, buddy?
It's not bad.
That would work for you?
Yeah.
All right, all right. Are we putting a sliding window in?
What's your name?
Dave.
Okay, you're on the list.
Oh, Dave's on the list. All right. So once we got the frames made for the window forms, we kind of put them in place here, and we're thinking 3x3 for the front. Looks a little small, so we're gonna use the 4x3 one right here in the front of the guard shack, which means I think the side should be bigger. So we're gonna end up going with a 3x5 on the side. Let's do some thinking, Chris. This isn't the exact height the window's gonna sit at, but it's just to give us an idea here. It's a good sized window. I don't know if we need to go 5 foot. 4 foot might work. 4 foot here. Like, I would go taller, but we're gonna cap this building off not super tall. I don't want this thing to be like super tall and crazy and weird. Let me just go 4 foot tall window. 4x4? 4x4? By the time this video goes live, I'll have made my decision. Well, by the time before this video ends, you're gonna see my decision, I guess. Well, we ended up going a completely different way from what we had anticipated. Instead of going 3x5, or even going 4x5 or whatever we decided, on the long side there, we're gonna go 4x4. So I built my 4x4 frame there. Then on the front side, we're gonna take that 4x3 frame that we already built, and we're gonna turn it tall ways. So it's gonna be 4 foot tall window, 3 foot wide, and that is obviously that frame right there. Bro, how heavy is that thing? So we literally have the absolute wettest 2x8s you could have. One of these sections of 4 foot 2x8 weighs like 40 pounds, no joke. All right, guys, that's essentially gonna be our window layout now. 3x4 in the front, 4x4 on the side. And then on the other side over here is where our door is gonna go. That way, when Chris is working an event, he just has the door open, his desk inside here. You can walk out, you know, check your ID, your credentials.
How much does this position pay?
$4 an hour, but you can get to pet the animals.
Deal.
Now, this is as far as we're getting today, and this will give you guys kind of an idea here on height difference. Column is actually 1 block higher level-wise. We're talking top of column level. If you come across all the way, that is the same as that one, and it's actually 1 block higher than that last column right there, which obviously is the biggest column. This might give you a better idea. Let's look at where I'm stubbing out my conduit on this one. Right, it hits me about waist high there. And now again, the conduit, if you look down this line, they all stub out at the same height. So that was all shot in with a laser. But if we come all the way down to the other end here, conduit over here essentially hits at my face. Now remember, we're gonna bring the dirt up to where and that's gonna be probably close to my waist. That way, when you have all the gates in here, the gates are obviously gonna get hung level. You're not gonna see the concrete sloping like this, and you end up with a big old giant 16-inch, 2-foot gap underneath the gate over here to hang the gates level, because right now the dirt is going like that. We've got enough dirt here that we dug out when we hogged this out. We're gonna bring some of that in. We actually do need to bring this side down a little bit, which is good, because that's gonna buy us some dirt and mean that we don't have to raise that up quite as high. Now, if you remember, I did get a good deal on all these blocks, so if you were leaving these exposed, typically you wouldn't use the block with the sash right there. You can see a little sash cut into the block. But since these are all gonna get some type of finish, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I know what I wanna do on these columns to kind of give them a dressed up feel instead of just stuccoing them. But by the time we're done here, to give you guys an idea of total column height, it'll end up being probably 2 more block taller than what this column is right now with me standing next to it, is what the finished height of the columns is going to be all the way across the board. And I think that's going to give that very grand feel that I was looking for out here. Speaking of grand feel, I am glad we called the audible and decided to take these gates from 16-foot wide total opening to a 20-foot wide total opening. It really brought the scale up. I'm excited, guys. I love seeing stuff come up out of the ground. Well, bright and early, day 2 of block laying. We're driving down to the gate right now. I'm telling you guys, I have gotten my money's worth out of this golf cart. I'm doing right now is I'm going around and marking finished floor, which will be right there. FF, that is top of concrete. I don't know if that's showing up on camera. The lighting's a little weird there. So you guys can see, we're gonna bring the grade up to about 6 inches below that line, because obviously that leaves us some room for DG as well as concrete. I'm not doing 6 inches of concrete all the way up to the house. That's crazy, that's a lot of concrete. We wanted the entrance to be 6 inches because that's where everybody's doing the turning, and that's the transition off the road. But we're gonna switch back to 4 inches up here.
We're gonna come down 6 inches, which leaves 2 inches for DG, 4 inches for concrete. So our grade needs to basically come up to here.
Not a ton when you look at it. I mean, you consider where I'm sitting right now is actually probably the height of that bottom block right here. So we gotta bring it up about 16 inches. All right, y'all, so things are cruising along over here.
Got the back wall portion done. Obviously, again, everything's gonna be going higher once we bring the grade up. Things are moving along on the guard shack. We've got the door held temporarily in place here.
And kind of how these commercial doors work
Is they have these pins that lock in to the actual door jamb here and then get embedded in the concrete once we grout the wall. So it really does lock these things in. Technically, you're supposed to screw them in from the backside into concrete. You should have your slab already.
we don't really have the luxury of having the slab here because everything's kind of like we're doing all this first. So I've got some
2x8 blocks underneath there holding it up to where the bottom of the finished floor is going to be inside of the guard shack.
Obviously there's going to be a step up into the guard shack because you want to keep water out, and because I'm sure it's going to get mentioned here,
this is supposed to be a door that opened in this way. That's why I pushed it so close to the wall there. That way the door can be open.
if anybody's actually working in there. I don't think anybody's going to be working in there, but the door is going to open up out of the way. They grabbed me the wrong door frame, and we don't really have the luxury of waiting to get a new one, so we're just going for it. The door's going to unfortunately have to open that way, which is probably going to get a little bit annoying, but worst case scenario, we take the door off the hinges on days that we need it open. Now that we've got our door secured in place, we're going to start building up around that. We're now working on to getting the windows in place. So basically what we did is we're keeping them 3 foot off of the finished floor from the interior here. So
Obviously that's going to be right at the bottom of that door frame.
we took our laser level, we shot our level lines on the outside, and then 3 foot up has this little rip. And this is the sill that our window frame that we built is going to sit on and basically remain until this whole wall is built and grouted. So it totally slipped my mind when we built these things that we need to be able to grout the blocks that are at the bottom
Of the window.
and the form that we're going to put in. So I went ahead and just sliced out an opening in the bottom here. That way when we're grouting everything, we can make sure that we get mud up underneath the window there. Alrighty, y'all, well that is gonna be a wrap on day 2 over here. Well, I guess day 3. Papa Rhino started first coursing 3 days ago, but let me climb in the guard shack here and knock my braces off the door frame. All right, let's give you guys an idea here. This thing is coming together pretty well. Did notice one issue we're gonna have to address, and that is, you see this gap right there?
Obviously this worked out to kind of block work, but it fell on a joint.
So these frames that we built are already rough opening size, which leaves a 1/4 inch on each side when we come to put the window in. That way we can shim everything, get everything all nice and plumb and squared up.
But this will end up being a 3/4 gap on this side.
Not the end of the world. We could probably spray foam it and be good, but we're gonna pop these 2 blocks and we'll end up shifting them over, but that's not gonna happen today. So our next step here is we're gonna come in, clean everything up, start moving a bunch of the block work. We're gonna possibly do a little bit of grading first. We gotta bring some scaffolding in because
All of these need to go higher. This booger I think needs to go 3 foot taller, which means that one needs to go 3 foot taller, that one needs to go 3 foot taller.
because again, remember, we're bringing the grade up, so you're only gonna see 8 foot of column out of ground. But I am stoked. I think at this point, the neighbors that haven't met me and don't know what's going on are gonna start really asking questions when they see like the windows and the door and realizing that we're building a guard shack. Hopefully they don't think we're doing some like big commercial, like, I don't even know, business running down here, because we're not. We just thought it'd be funny to build a guard shack. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You're a little early. Go.
Roll the outro!
Damn. Yeah.